Okay, we ended with natural affection is debased and love is prostituted to the base designs of self, and the entire family, with all its tender cords, ardent hopes, and promised interests, becomes engulfed in the vortex of criminal worldliness, or Luciferness, I said. But reverse the picture. See what home becomes with religion as its life and rule. Human nature is there checked and molded by the amiable spirit and lovely character of Jesus, or Saviors. The mind is expanded, the heart softened, sentiments refined, passions subdued, hopes elevated, pursuits ennobled, the world cast into the shade, which means Lucifer cast into the shade, and heaven realized as the first prize, like heaven on earth. The great want of our intellectual moral nature is here met, and home education becomes impregnated with the spirit elements of our preparations for eternity, which is now in time and space because of Jesus Christ. The relations of home demand family religion. These are relations of mutual dependence, involving each close affinity that the good or evil which befalls one member must in some degree extend to all the other members. They involve helps. Each member becomes an instrument in the salvation or damnation of the others. For what knowest, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? 1 Corinthians 7:16. If one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. They stimulate each other either to salvation or to ruin. But if someone is forcing you to ruin or your children, yeah, that's a domestically violent relationship. And God and no law on any land in any nation supports domestic violence. Yes, it is a form of terrorism. They stimulate each other either to salvation or to ruin, and hence those children that go to ruin in consequence of parental unfaithfulness will curse the father that begat them, the womb that bare them, and the day they entered their home. Many parents seek to excuse themselves from the practice of family religion upon the ground that they have not the capacity nor the time. If so, you should not have married. But if you are Christians, you have the capacity and you will take the time. But some are ashamed to begin family religion. Ashamed of what? Of your piety, of your children, of the true glory and greatness of your home? Then you are ashamed of saving. You should rather blush than that you have not begun this good work. The great defect of family religion is the present day is that it is not educational. Parents wait until their children have grown up and established habits of sin when they suppose that the efforts of some protracted meeting will compensate for their neglect in childhood. They overlook the command of God to teach them his words. The influence of this defect and the delusion has been most destructive. Many Christian homes are now altogether destitute of religious appliances. If the angel that visited the homes of Israel were to visit the Christian homes of this age, would he not be tempted to say, as Abraham said to Abimelech, surely the fear of God is not in this place? One great reason, perhaps, why there are so many such homes is that there are now so many irreligious marriages where husband and wife are unequally yoked together, one a believer and the other not. How can two walk together except they be agreed? Can there be family religion when husband and wife are traveling to eternity in opposite roads? No. There will be hindrances instead of helps. If they marry not in the Lord, religion will not be in their home. Says the pious J. I am persuaded that it is very much owing to the prevalence of those indiscriminate and unhallowed connections that we have fallen so far short of the men of God who are gone before us in the discharge of family worship and in the training up of our households in the nurturing admonition of Yahweh. Family religion is implied in the marriage relationship and obligation. It is included in the necessities of our children and in the covenant promises of God. The penalties of its neglect and the rewards of our faithfulness to it should prompt us to its establishment in our homes. Its absence is a curse, its presence a blessing. It is a foretaste of heaven. Like manna, it will feed our souls, quench our thirst, sweeten the cup of life, and shed a halo of glory and of gladness around our firesides. Let yours, therefore, be a religious home, and then be sure that God will delight to dwell therein, and his blessing will descend like the dews of heaven upon it. Like the angels say, peace on earth, goodwill towards mankind, upon whom God's favor rests. That's a religious home, a religious person. Someone upon whom God's favor rests, no matter what they look like or what they're doing to you. If God's favor truly rests upon them, they are in good standing with God and God's law and God's nature and God's creation. Whether he be an emperor or a king or a beggar on the street. Let yours therefore be the religious home, and then be sure that God will delight to dwell therein, and his blessings will descend like the dews of heaven upon it. Your children shall not be found begging bread, but shall be like the olive plants around your table, the heritage of Yahweh. Yours will be the home of love and harmony. It shall have the charter of family rights and privileges, and the ward of family interests, the palladium of family hopes and happiness. Palladium. Of family hopes and happiness. Your household piety will be the crowning attributes of your peaceful home, the crown of living stars that shall adorn the night of its tribulation, and the pillar of cloud and of fire its pilgrimage to a better country, which means peace on earth, goodwill towards mankind, upon whom God's favor rests, yes, as this is heaven on earth. It shall strew the family threshold with the flowers of promise, and enshrine the memory of loved ones gone before, and all the fragrance of that blessed hope of reunion in heaven which looms up from a dying hour. It shall give to the infant soul its perfect flowering, and expand it in all the fullness of the generous love and conscious blessedness, making it lustrous in the livery of divine knowledge. And then in the dark hour of home separation and bereavement, when the question is put to thee, mourning parents, it is well with the child, is it well with thee? You can answer with joy, it is well. May we ponder these things and apply them correctly, appropriately to ourselves. Take care. Toodaloo.